settings there. This is great. What is this from?
It's this website that I found.
Is it a game, like from a gaming site? Or
Oh, no.
It's Piano Book Club.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Arranmore.
Okay, that's cool. I like it. How long have you been working on it? Just wondering.
Like 1 to 2 months.
Really,
I'm not
that's
exactly
impressive.
sure.
Very, very impressive. There's a lot of technique, a lot of technical things in it. That's really impressive. It's not for learning in that short amount of time. Right. Yeah. This is great. So you have that. So that's one of the chords that's in it. So what about when it goes to a different one, like in that measure?
E flat or E.
Yeah, it's just E.
major?
E flat. Yeah.
Oh, E flat.
Yeah. Even like most of the time, people can say you don't have to say like the whole one. Like if it's major or minor, usually E flat we know is like we're talking about E flat major. Yeah. So you get the names of the chords and stuff. That's really good. Why I asked you that because that'll help you like when you're trying to learn the piece and when you're practicing it a lot. So you know you have a whole C minor section, and you don't have to think about if you know like to have just the chord progression memorized, and it'll help you learn it without having to know all the single notes that are in between it. Like it'll help cut out like a little bit of trying to figure out, oh my gosh, I have every single note. If you know what chord comes next, it's just going to be the same pattern next, right? So you have the same C minor pattern here, and then you do it again here in a different chord, and then you do it here, a different chord. So you have C minor, and then you have E flat, and then you have that same pattern here, like a C minor pattern. That same pattern there, right? And then you have it here again. So and then you have it again here. This is what we call F minor. And then you're gonna go to this one. So you have the same kind of patterns that go over, repeat themselves over and over again. So can you just play just the chords for me so you can remember? So you have C minor, right? Yeah, play it down, play it where it's actually here. So it's both bass clef, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, then the next measure is what? And then still E flat, and then the next one's still E flat. So you go back to that one. And then in the next one. Next one. Careful. Here you have a flat because it's still in the key. Yeah, there you go. That's it. And then the next one's gonna be B flat. There you go. So that's what happens. So you have that little pattern down. Okay, I know you've been practicing it a lot. So I'm just trying to give you ways to go back and add layers so you can keep practicing, like learning it from different perspectives. So you have the chord constructions. You have E, C, E flat, and all. You have all that. That's great. And so the same kind of thing that we were talking about earlier, you just got to figure out how to make this fit in the field, make it fit where it fits really, really good. And so what I want to tell you to try to do is so you have that. Why don't you try playing your C minor chord, C, E, G. Why don't you try just playing like different types of exercises in it and stuff, just so you can get a bit comfortable, so you can really be comfortable in the chord progression, like the chord it is. Some of these chords, they feel like really awkward to play, like no matter what it is, like just the hand positions of them sometimes, like that one, and then especially like there's E flat major, this E flat key at the base of it, it's a really awkward one to play. No matter what hand position it is, it's just the way it's spaced out on the piano. And so just finding different technical things to do, like different exercises to do in those little passages will help a lot to get your hands and like your arms and muscles used to it. And so just I encourage you just to do it. It doesn't have to be anything more than just doing like broken chords. Can you just do a broken chord, like break it up and just go? Just break it up. Yeah. Yeah. Can you do it in both hands? So you both hands. Good. Now use the same fingering and do it at E flat. Yeah. Good. And then the next one. Careful. Stop. Yeah. Do you feel how different it is? Because you're using the way you're playing it. You're using all that same fingering, but it's gonna help you like get in shape for that. Yeah. Can you just play it again for me? Like the same speed like you've been doing, and we'll keep going or something, and I'll stop you. position when you're going over to the left hand, or you're going to cross sleeping. That stuff is always difficult. I played the piece that was just like it was a combination of the two that took me forever to learn. Like one's the left hand and then the right hand to do that. It's a combination of that. Like it was like literally like playing patty cake, like crazy blowing your hands. It's crazy the whole time. So can you just do that very, very slowly for me?
Okay.
I guess you can do it in the beginning because you do it in the beginning too. It's everywhere. Go slower. Go really, really slow. Yeah. Yeah. So you can see you land on the note. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Don't speed up. Yeah. You don't speed up. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So then the next part of this is I want you to try to do this without looking at your hands. Just try it. It's okay. It's okay if you miss. It's okay. Okay, that's as far as I go. As far as we go. So I tell you that it builds up another sensory thing, like practicing these technical, like these different passages, and especially in leaps. Like if you don't see it, the more you don't see it, the more accurate you're going to be whenever you have to play it when you're looking at it, because you're like, oh, I already know like where it feels like in your hand. It's a completely different sensor whenever you're doing things differently and like without having to look at it, or if you're playing in the dark. If you ever should happen to do that sometimes. I do that sometimes. I don't play with the lights on if I don't want. Sometimes just every once in a while. Like I don't like all the time, but it's a completely different sensor when you're not having to look. When you don't have to look and just see what comes next. If you're looking at what comes next, you're like, oh my gosh, like I have this. Yeah, you have all that time in here. Like you're blinked, like all this, do this, and you're like, oh my gosh, I land here. But if you can look without looking, you can automatically know where E flat's gonna be. Yeah, you can just do simple practices like that. It doesn't have to be anything more like you don't have to be any more like extravagant.
So like kind of like practice your arpeggio.
But yeah, it just wants you to be able to feel where E flat is without having to know, without having to look at it. So if you know that's the exact distance it's going to be, it's going to help you get there a lot faster. So you don't have all this time in between, like you're planning. Like, oh my gosh, I got to be here. So just try that. Just do chords, and then just jump over to the next, like that, and then to the next note. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Try one more time. That's it. Try it again. I'm not picking on you about that A flat, but like it changed the quality of the chord. It changed it a lot better. But it's technically because you still have an A flat here, so it would actually be that. Just remember that one because it changes it a whole lot better. It changes it. You know, you're what you had was this. So you have that. This is what you've been playing. I mean, yeah. So what it should be is. Yeah, the composer actually run an A flat. So just remember for later. Yeah, it's hard to fix like when you're used to playing it at spot. Yeah, that was the only thing I wanted to tell you about that. This is a really cool piece. It's the same kind of things here. Like when you have to be able to know like what distance you're gonna have to jump. So you're way up here, right, from this chord 4. You're way up here, right, for this next. And you're gonna have to know that. Jump. You have to know that this is the leap. The same thing we were talking with her before about that piece. So you're gonna have to play it slow from here until you can land on that B flat at the right speed, and make the note right. Yeah. A lot of times, this thing that we were talking earlier about is a thing that we like to call pinata practicing. Is what basically what that means is that we spend a lot of times playing the wrong notes and not catching the right ones and then you spend say like 10 times I played this wrong, and the 11th time you got it right, and then you call it a day. It's like, oh, I got it right now, then I'm done. And then so What happens when you get ready to perform it? Your body is still programmed to play the wrong notes because you've been playing it wrong that whole time. So you're only gonna get it right that one time, but then you have to spend all the time playing it right, like twice as much playing it right from there to actually make it count. Because like you're still programmed to play it wrong. It's gonna happen. Like it's still gonna come up. That hard section's gonna come up. If you've only played it right that one time, that's not enough. Like that's not enough into practicing when you get it. So. When you get it right, when you land on the right note, you gotta spend twice as much time making sure that it's still gonna stay there. There's nothing wrong with like, 'cause every day I have like people, you learn something, like you're trying to learn the notes and you come back the next day and it's like, oh my gosh, I've forgotten what I just learned, and you just gotta that's completely normal stuff, but don't let that discourage you to come back and slow back down. That's completely normal for everybody to do that. But just spend a little bit more time like on those big leaps and making sure that you're actually landing on the right. Slow practice is crucial. Like I never really sit and play anything fast. Like any of my big pieces, like I never really play them fast. Like I hardly ever play them fast. Like until I get ready to perform, I play it up to speed. But I spend the majority of the time playing it slow to make sure I actually can land on the right notes, making sure that everything is there. Slow practicing, like I think it fixes a lot of the mistakes that you're already making. Like I like to tell people you cover like a couple of days practicing something super slow, because then later everybody has the speed in them. Like that comes back, the speed's always there. So like slow practicing is big thing. But that was my main thing in this. In the first movement that you played. It's great. I like it. Can you start this page for me? Do you know like the like what's technically happening here, like besides all these flourishes and stuff?
So like I'm
asking him what chords he's playing. Yeah, he's
so
got it.
It's like an A minor, but it's like flips right here.
It's still A minor.
It's still A minor.
It's still A minor, yeah.
And then you do it again. And then it's back to regular A.
Can you play those as like a whole block chords, like in actual blocks?
Like.
So you have your whole first section like this. And then the next one, and then, because that's what's happening, is that. Can you try it like that? You don't have to play it fast, it's just slow. That's the first one. First line again. Try this line again. Yeah, just like that. Yeah. That's it. And so what you got to do slowly over time to just put that together, so you know in your head that's what's happening. So you're not having to figure out, oh my gosh, this all these notes there, but it's really like I was talking about earlier, when it's just that. That's all it is. I tell people, I think that learning it by chords makes it a lot easier to learn, and you having to learn a million different notes. Like, so you don't have to, you have all these notes that's broken up. Oh my gosh, like, but really, if you just think about the chord,
it's just like 8 chords. It's a lot easier.
That's it. That's all it is. Yeah, that's all it is. It's great. Can you start the? Can you play it from, I guess, from this line and get into that section? I don't want to make you start directly on that.
Yeah.
you just do just the right hand without the left hand? Yeah, the rhythm's tricky. It's a little tricky just looking at it. Yeah, you have to think about it. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, take the pedal for me. Yeah, there you go. So you have bum, 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 bum. All right? That's what you're going to have to practice this. Bum, 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 bum. No faster than that. Try it. Just the right hand. And no pedal, yeah. No pedal. Yeah. And that's it. It's a little jazzy little rhythm. It's like salsa music almost. It's almost like a little salsa kind of like samba salsa kind of thing going on. But yeah, that little riff between this is not that much of like an important part to me. Like it's just that this is like landing on that is what's the hard part. So you don't have to go bum bum bum. So like don't be afraid to take a break in the air. Like so you have this section 1, 2, 3, and then you can get off of it and then land on here. So you're gonna go bum 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 bum. Yeah. Just try that a couple times. Yeah. So that's like. The way it's the way that it's notated is grouped, but I think the grouping is a little bit like this. Like this is the way it's beamed. The notes way it's beamed like that. That's one little group, and this is one by itself. And then you have those together. That's how it should really be. So you have one section, bum, 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 and then bum, 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 bum. Yeah, try it again. And try not to kick it. Try not to kick it too much. Where this is just for practice. This is just for practice only. So don't try to go bum, bum, bum. Just play it lightly. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, you don't have to kick it. It's already gonna be loud, so you don't have to. Yeah. Try it with the left hand now. You have the A octave. Just when you're practicing slow, over-exaggerate it so it helps you. You can over-exaggerate this so it can help you get a little bit more energy when you're getting into those chords. It's like when you get into this, it's like I'm driving. Like all your weight is in this little piece. Like it's like I don't know. Like how do I describe this as? Like it's almost like you're throwing a yo-yo like a little bit. Have you ever thrown a yo-yo before?
Oh, yes.
That's kind of like where all your weight is. Like you're like that. So like that's where all this weight is here. So like I want you to over-exaggerate it so you can build up the endurance between doing this. So yeah, take some time and this is kind of like a downward up and this is kind of like a downward motion too here. So I'm not just going bum, bum, bum. I want you to go bum. So you have down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So you're gonna go down like. So each chord's gonna go down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Just slowly. So you're gonna go 2, 3, and then separate it, and down, up, down, up, down. Yeah. Go slower than that. Go slower than that. Yeah. Just over-exaggerate, and then when you play it faster, it's gonna feel a lot better because you've programmed your hand to be able to do it in a different position. Now try it full speed and see if it feels a little better.
With the left hand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels a lot better. Yeah. It takes a long time. Like learning things when you have to learn things this way when you're trying to figure out how to make your hands do it. That's where the big part. Like the notes are gonna come a lot easier. Notes are always gonna come to you. You know the notes, but to be able to physically play it right, it's gonna take like 10 more hours a day to do. It takes a whole lot more time to be able to do that. It's great. Yeah, you have the same kind of thing here. Can you do this at the end? Okay. Yeah. Can you just take your time and do it slow, like this whole run really slowly? That's right. It bum 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 bum. At the end, yeah. It goes up to the G sharp. It goes up to the G sharp at the end. You were right. And then bum bum bum. Can you use just the right hand? Do you know just the right hand part? Mhm. Do you know the right hand a little bit better? What about just the left hand? It's just gonna take a long time to like. It's gonna take a lot of patience to be able to do it. Don't be in a hurry to get to the top of the end, at the top of the piece. So I mean, at the top of the end. Don't be in such a hurry to get there. Just take your time working on it. You're getting it. You just gotta take some. It's gonna take. You're playing everything right. Like that's what I'm gonna tell you. You're playing everything right now. You just take your time. You just gotta take your time to be able to put that together. Yeah, this is really cool. I like this. Can you start the beginning for me, just quickly? Okay, yeah, that's great. It says with pedal, but I would think that you're gonna have to probably do a little bit more work to not overdrown that really gorgeous melody you have here. Yeah, so you're gonna have to pedal a little bit. I think you should have to pedal a little bit more so it doesn't overlap it. It's great what you're doing, but if you keep that pedal down too much, it's gonna be it's gonna overlap. You try to listen to yourself a little bit more too. And playing piano is more, I think it's more like 40% of you doing it, and then like the rest of 60% of you actually like listening to it, because like what you hear is only a fraction of what they hear out there. And so like if you try to listen to yourself, you're like, oh, am I actually hearing all those notes? Are you actually hearing all the notes, or are you hearing a big blur of the notes? Because if you're hearing more of a blur, they hear like 20% more of it out there. So like try to listen to yourself a little bit more, but. If you're holding down the pedal a little bit more, it's going to cover up that really big, that really pretty melody that you have. So can you just try it again and try to use a little bit more pedal? I mean, like you don't have to pedal every single one of these, but clear it a little bit more. That's great. You play really, really well. And did you actually write out the transition part by hand, or is it like something you improvise?
Yeah, we didn't write it by hand.
Improvise is great.
Yes.
That's really, really great. What else are you playing? I see you have some Hannon.
Yes.
Is Hannon? What do you think about Hannon? Is it? Do you feel like it's tedious and annoying, or
it gets a little tedious.
It's tedious, but Hannon is like I don't necessarily like play every single and teach every single last one of them. I think a few of them are really, really great. But just a lot of those simple things, like just playing chords, playing scales, playing arpeggios, are going to be able to fix a lot of the problems that you're going to run across in pieces most of the time. And there's a few. Sometimes you're going to have like that little chord section where you need extra help. But most of the time, don't don't ever knock down playing these basic technical passages. It's gonna help fix 1,000% of everything that you do. Like just every time you want to play, like so many people will ask me, they want to, like, why do I have to play scales? Like, why do I have to play chords, and why do I have to be able to do this? Like, every single artist that you listen to already knows that. See, that's the basis of all your songs and stuff, regardless of what genre you want to do. And versus classical music, church music, I can't think of anything where you don't use any of the basics. So every once in a while, don't ever think less about what those technical things can do for you. It's going to come back forever, like, and no matter what. Even if you're playing God, like, even for the heart and soul. Yeah, those were just chords. And like, if you remember like the basis of all that, that's going to help a lot. Yes. Just a little bit, like just playing a few of those a day help fix a lot of problems. This is great. It's really cool. I'm gonna have to look this up. What is it called again?
Piano book club. I'll send it to you.
Cool, I like it. It's really cool. Thank you, man. It's cool. You're great. This is great. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.